Welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop, where I am your host, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Today, we're gonna talk a little bit about what happened last night. Dan Reeves is in the building. What's happening, big homie? Many shouts out to everyone in the sweatshop. Yo, went to church today. Had a wonderful, awesome time at church. Did the second program after that. Went out to Columbia, South Carolina, when my pastor was preaching, is doing his thing. So that was pretty nice. So I enjoyed church today. Really fun time with the family. So that's always cool. But now it's all about DFS, man, MLB, and we're gonna be rolling to NFL pretty soon too. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and chop this up, okay? First thing I'm gonna do is gonna talk a little bit about what happened last night. Saw some pretty huge scores on the day. I mean, huge scores we saw, but only one could be gang, and that most certainly was the Arizona Diamondbacks, man. The gang stack of the day, without a doubt. JD Martinez went off 32. Descalzo, nice one. Chris Herman, Gregor Blanco. And the funny part about it is it wasn't like the usual suspects. Everybody, I mean, Martinez and Goldsmith, those are the guys that got off. But man, we saw some big performances from Descalzo and Herman that you really didn't see coming. Okay, so without a doubt, gang stack of the day goes to the Arizona Diamondbacks, and it was good to finally see them swing hot bats again. So also, we've got just the studs, bro, batter studs. Take a look at Byron Buxton, bro. Buxton went nuts. He hit 3 jacks, scored 56 DraftKings points. That was insanity. Then, of course, JD Martinez, Giancarlo Stanton hit another one, scored 30 points. Yo, that dude is on pace to really tear it up. He really is, man. You got Lomo hit one. Of course, Goldsmith, Yan Gomez, Marcus Semien. Very solid batter performances that we saw. Next, we're going to talk about some of the pitchers. Masahiro Tanaka was the #1 scoring pitcher on the slate, 33.55. Carrasco, good game. You had Patrick Corbin here. Jarrell Cotton pitched a nice one. John Gray was decent. Chris Archer, 26 is okay, but you could have got that for a lot cheaper. Kyle Gibson, 24 in his start. Let's take a look at some of the duds at pitcher. The worst on the slate was, of course, Eric Skolin, man, -14.4. He was taking on, I believe, the Cleveland Indians, and they went nuts. The Indians went ham. They were definitely a candidate for a gang, but that was bad. Joe Biagini, bad as well. AJ Griffin, horrible. Andrew Albers, not good. Nolasco, not great. Talion got hit up. So it was a rough day for those pitchers, man. But all in all, yo, I had my little parlay popping. Didn't do much with it, man. I threw in $2. Could have won $24,792. I do that every day. I throw it a buck or two if I'm really feeling it. And it's on like a 50. I had like a 16 game parlay, and I do it just to do it. One day I'll hit it probably. It's no big deal. But I did play some other stuff, and I had a decent one myself. So let's go ahead, man. We're gonna jump into it. We of course are gonna be rocking from the DK, using DK as a pinpoint. We're gonna be chopping up the 10 game slate. Eric Christian, what's up, big homie? We're gonna be chopping up this 10 game slate, going on the classic mode. Now, nothing during the early, nothing in the early day. We are popping it off at 7:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, and we got 10 games here. We're gonna open this up so that we can correlate pitching on DK with the actual pitching that we're gonna have from RotoQL. Okay, so I love to use RotoQL. I'm going to the season average projection because this is a paid site. Some of their shit is behind the paywall. It's all good. I've gotten permission to just use some of these things briefly. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, the first thing I want you to know is on a 10 game slate, pitching, not pitching, but ownership matters. Individual ownership matters just as stack ownership matters. So in the first class, what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about pitching. Hammer down some pitching prospects that we like, guys that we like going forward, or excuse me, early, and when we reconvene later on today inside of the line drive at 5, when the batting orders come out, that's when we can really get to it. Now, one thing I want you to take consideration of, you got a 10:07 game, Oakland and the Angels. You've got a 10:10 game with San Francisco and the San Diego Padres. Now, at 7:05, when these lineups lock, we are probably not going to have these orders. Oakland, LA, and the San Francisco, San Diego. We're probably not gonna have those orders. So remember, number one thing you're gonna know about that is those are gonna be probably the least owned teams on the slate. So if you like bats there, don't be afraid to hold on to some spots and get those guys in. We're gonna chop that up some as well. Okay, let's go over pitching right now and take a look at what we can expect. Okay, first game we've got is the Seattle Mariners and the Baltimore Orioles. Marco Gonzalez 5.6. You got Chris Tillman at 5K. It's an 11-run total here. We are in Camden Yards, Oriole Park in Camden Yards. Very, very solid place for hitters. 12 mile per hour wind is coming back toward the middle infield. I don't know how much that's going to affect the ball getting up out of there. But both of these pitchers are definitely attackable. And let's go ahead and take a look at the Seattle Mariners, what they do on the road versus right-handed pitching. This should help us out just a bit. 16.2% K rate, a 152 ISO with a 315 WOBA. I'm going to tell you what puts this team in play for me, okay? Is because in 511 plate appearances, that's a ton of plate appearances. This team only strikes out 16.2% of the time. Only 16.2% of the time does this team strike out. That is magnificent. The ISO is not great with a 152, but anytime you got a WOBA above 300, that's usable. You couple that with the fact that Chris Tillman is just not a great pitcher, and that he's going to see some lefty-righty matchups that are definitely going to be going in the favor of the batters. I can get behind some Seattle guys, and I want nothing to do with Chris Tillman here. On the other side, I want to take a look at what the Baltimore Orioles do at home versus left-handed pitching. And you're going to see right here a 24.4% K rate, fairly high, but the 227 ISO and a 339 WOBA has the Orioles as sort of a front runner, okay, for the gang stack of today's slate. Now, you can get behind these cats, man. They've been swinging hot bats. Marco Gonzalez is not very good. They're in Camden Yards. 0% chance of rain here. Get some of those cats in your lineups, man. The Baltimore is going to be good. They're going to be a really good team. Next game we got is the Atlanta Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies. We are now at Citizens Bank Park. We've got 11 mile per hour wind coming back toward the middle infield again. Lucas Sims at 6.6. Aaron Nola 10.2. You take a look at the Braves on the road versus righties, and that's going to help us to determine where we want to play. Okay, now they're not horrible, but they're not good either. I'm talking 17.2% K rate. This is in 337 plate appearances. 151 ISO with a 313 WOBA. I think Aaron Nola at 10.2 is an automatic play for us. 8.5 is going to be the run total here. You do have the 11 mile per hour wind kind of coming back toward the infield. That should help out in terms of pitching. No Lucas Sims for me. Aaron Nola is definitely in play. Even at 10.2, I kind of like him. What I like about Aaron Nola here is the price is enough to where if you don't really believe in him, you're not going to play him. I mean, 10.2 is a lot. You're asking this guy to get 10 Ks, and I think he can do that in this spot. I really do. Last couple of games have not been so great. 7.65 against Miami, 1.25 against San Francisco. Notice he was priced all the way up then, but his next game, this last game against the Mets at home, 31.35. So he's going to be a guy that I really like. I think Nola is in a very solid spot. While the Atlanta Braves don't K a lot, I think he can get a lot of guys out and it'll be fine. On the other side, if you wanted to attack him, there's definitely some places you can go if you don't believe that Nola's gonna pitch a good one. What I would look to is some of the cheaper guys, but we're gonna talk about that some when we jump into the line drive. Lucas Sims, not a guy that I want to play. Check this out. Look at the Phillies at home versus righties, man. They're pretty good. We've got bam 204 ISO, 327 WOBA. The K rate is up to 25.1%, but you got to ask yourself, is Lucas Sims a guy that can exploit the fact that the Philadelphia Phillies strike out a lot at home against righties? And I don't think so. I'm going to have some Philadelphia bats as well as Aaron Nola. I love him in the spot. Next game we got is the Miami Marlins and the Washington Nationals here. You got Max Scherzer at 14.1, Jose Urena 6.7. I am not playing Max Scherzer. I am on a complete 100% fade. There is absolutely no reason for me to play Scherzer here. The price is up too much. Miami, one of the better teams in the league against right-handed pitching. But Scherzer is probably the best pitcher in the league against right-handed batters. Let's take a look at what the Miami Marlins do on the road versus righties. They're killers. They're killers. In 445 plate appearances, 21.1% K rate, 210 ISO, 322 WOBA. There's no way I'm playing Max Scherzer. There's no way. I'm not playing Max Scherzer. Brandon Frudd, Ronald Cody, what's up, big homie? I'm not playing Scherzer. I'm completely fading. What I do like about this, is that Scherzer, if he does pitch a decent game, I'm not saying that Scherzer's going to get blown up. Is why I can't play him. I just don't think 14 Ks are there. You know, I don't think a K per thousand is there for Max Scherzer. As a matter of fact, I think it could get hit up. And with that being said, it sucks that you don't get the discount. You don't get a Scherzer discount for the Miami players. That's how I know. Let's read into this. That's how I know. I have a great idea that Scherzer is not worth it because you don't get the discount for the Miami guys. Look, D. Gordon is still 4.1. Giancarlo Stanton is still above 5K. Christian Yelich is still 4K. Ozuna is still 4.4. That should tell you. That should tell you that, yo, there's no way I can play Scherzer here. Now, I do like Urena. Yes. 6.7. I can get behind Urena. Last time I was on him, he only scored 6 points. But after that, the next two starts, 14.4 and then 15.05. So I like it. I like it. You know, that kind of tells me I can't play Scherzer because you don't get the discount. They're not even trying to bait you into playing them. They're not even trying. We're not even being baited into playing Miami. Because usually when it happens like that, you'll see the price depressed some on the opposing team. You have a strong ace like that because they're trying to bait you into playing them. Man, Giancarlo Stanton at 4.7, Giancarlo Stanton at 4.7, Marcelo Ozuna at 3.8. You gotta take that. D Gordon at 3.5. Ooh, sounds great. Christian, you're like 3.2. Yeah. No. And then you add to that the Nationals have like one of the worst bullpens in the league. Scherzer's not going to pitch 9. And as soon as he leaves that game, they can light his ass up. So you can give me some Jose Urena for the cheap. 6.7 is solid for me. No Scherzer, complete fade. I don't care what happens. I'm not playing Scherzer. Next game we got Washington 123 ISO, 303 WOBA over the last 3 weeks too. Yes, they've been bad. As a matter of fact, let's go back and check on that. I want to look at the Nationals at home versus righties. Let's take a look. 22% K rate, not bad. 196 ISO, 327 WOBA. This is over the last month. This is over the last month. Next game we got is going to be the Boston Red Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays. You've got Drew Pomeranz 8.8, Marcus Stroman at 9.2. Stroman, man, 9.2. That's kind of appealing. It's kind of appealing. The problem is we are in Rogers Center, and the ball can get up out of there. And you've got a ton of lefty power. You look at Devers, you look at Andrew Benintendi. There's a lot of power here. And it's some righty powers that hit righties well too, like Hanley Ramirez. Even Mookie Betts has a little pop. So I don't think I can get to Stroman here. I don't see him getting 9 Ks against the Boston Red Sox. If we take a look at the Red Sox on the road versus righties, they have not been excellent, but they've been fairly decent. 24.6% K rate. That's kind of high. A 171 ISO with a 315 WOBA. While I don't think that Stroman is going to be, I don't think Stroman is going to be owned enough to where I've got to play some Red Sox. I just don't. I can't play. No, I can't play Stroman. No, I can't. Drew Pomeranz 8.8. That's a very fair price for Pomeranz. Let's take a look at Stroman actually in his last couple of starts, just to be real. 4.6 against Tampa Bay, 22.8 against Tampa, 22 against Pittsburgh, 15, 16, 5, 23. Nah, and he had the blisters. I don't want him. Drew Pomeranz, on the other hand, in his last couple of starts, 29 against Cleveland. That's big. 29 against Cleveland. That's big. 12.5 against the Yankees, 17 against the Yankees, 27 against the Chicago White Sox. Pomeranz could be usable. I do want to have a look at what Toronto Blue Jays do at home versus lefties. Because that could really help me out. Oh, wait a minute. At home versus left-handed pitching. Toronto Blue Jays, and only 101 plate appearances. 21.8% K rate. A 333 ISO with a 386 WOBA. That is huge. Yeah, that is huge. That's going to put some of the Toronto bats in play for me. I can't, no Pomerantz, no Stroman. Some of these bats are gonna be in play for me, most certainly. As a matter of fact, I like some of the Toronto bats at home in this very solid lefty-righty matchup more than I like some of the Boston bats. So Toronto, I'm gonna be on the lookout for them. I kind of like them. Next game we got is the Cleveland Indians and my New York Yankees. We got a pitcher's duel here, baby. We got a pitcher's duel here, baby. Kluber Severino. Could this be another Kluberino? Could this be another? Now, we had an opportunity where we could have had a Kluberino night last week, but what happened was some of the other pitchers that were really cheap had good ones too. So it kind of overshadowed the fact that both of these pitchers had decent starts. Let's take a look. Because Kluber went off for 33. That was solid. Kluber had 33. Then we look here, Severino. Severino had 28. That was on the same night. But it just the fact that you saw other pitchers that were cheaper play well too and pitch very well too. I can tell you right now, I want nothing to do with either of the bats in this game. The wind is blowing in, as Ronald just pointed out. It's a 7-run total. No bats. Kluberino is in play for me. Corey Kluber, of course, is in play. And, of course, Severino is in play at 11.5. Now, who would be more likely to get blown up in this game? It would be Severino. If I had to choose between the two, I would play Kluber. Definitely. And I think that's the reason why nobody plays Scherzer. It's because everybody's going to be on either Kluber or Severino. And it makes sense. It makes sense. Next game we got is the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Chicago Cubs. Trevor Williams, 6.3. Mike Montgomery, 7.1. Yo, Montgomery in his last start. I didn't like him. He went out and scored 22. Before that, 23.1. I missed the boat on him the last 2 times. Do I like him against the Pittsburgh Pirates? Let's take a look at what what the Pirates do on the road versus lefties. I think you're going to be surprised by how good they've been. Excuse me, how bad they've been. Damn, I meant how good they've been. All right, so yes. 102 plate appearances for the Pittsburgh Pirates, 25.5% K rate, 196 ISO with a 300 WOBA. That's fairly decent. And you look at Mike Montgomery, I think I can get behind some of the right-handed bats for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He could be the pivot guy. He could be the pivot guy. If it comes out to me that Mike Montgomery is sort of chalky and is a starting pitcher too for everybody that wants either Kluber or Severino or Scherzer, and people are talking about Mike Montgomery as a starting pitcher too, I'm going to load the fuck up on the Pirates bats. If it turns out that Mike Montgomery is going to see chalk status, I am going to load up on Pittsburgh bats. Cubs at home against righties. I'm sure they've been fairly decent. You're looking here, 25.9% K rate. That's pretty high, but a 235 ISO and a 365 WOBA and 390 plate appearances. Check, please. Give me some of the Chicago bats. I want nothing to do with Trevor Williams here. The next game we got is the Tampa Bay Rays and the Kansas City Royals. Austin Pruitt, 5.8. Ian Kennedy, 6K. Tampa has been swinging some pretty hot bats, especially in terms of hitting jacks lately. You look at what the Tampa Bay Rays do on the road versus right-handed pitching. They're going to be right here, man. 193 ISO, 318 WOBA, but only a 22% K rate. Is moving down some, so that puts some of their bats in play. I don't love them as a stack, but I think that you can definitely play a couple of them that have had success against Ian Kennedy before. Not a problem. You look at Austin Pruitt. Well, then you're going to take a look at the Kansas City Royals, what they do at home versus right-handed pitching, and they haven't been great recently, actually. 16.9% K rate, which is fairly low, but a 166 ISO and a 324 WOBA. So I'm going to find out who's done well against the pitchers in this game, and then to kind of go from there. I'm gonna let BVP decide where I go in terms of these spots, because I only think I want a bat or two, maybe two bats a piece from each side of this game. I don't love this game particularly. It is a 10-run total in Kauffman Stadium, which is I think Kauffman Stadium is a pitcher's park, if I am not mistaken. Let's take a look. Let us take a look here. Kauffman Stadium, I believe it's an extreme pitcher's park. Cool. Okay, good. So the balls ain't just gonna be flying out of there. Next game we got is the Detroit Tigers and the Colorado Rockies. Yo, this is wonderful, bro. This is wonderful. Okay? Because all day long, all everybody's gonna hear is, oh, Coarse. Oh, you gotta play Coarse. You can't play a pitcher in Coarse, but you gotta play Coarse. That's all you're gonna hear all day. And hopefully some of the Coarse ownership will shift people away from the other games. Hopefully everybody's gonna converge on Coarse. The game might dud out, and nobody plays Sensatella, nobody plays Zimmerman at 4.7. Yeah, yo, everybody's gonna love Coarse. Everybody's gonna love Coarse. Hopefully, that will take everybody off every other game. Okay, so let's take a look at what the Colorado Rockies do at home versus right-handers. Okay, and if not, that's not awesome, man. 19.5% K rate, the 190 ISO with a 372 WOBA. I kind of like Sensatella here, man. I kind of do. I like Sensatella here. I think it's gonna be in line for the win because the Rockies have been bad. They're struggling on a little road trip. They come home. Usually the visiting team to Coarse does not play extremely well. So I definitely think that Sensatella is going to be in play for me. On the other side, you look at what the Detroit Tigers do on the road versus right-handed pitching. Dead last in ISO. 25.3% K rate. Okay? 101 ISO with a 261 WOBA. Yo, people are going to be fed all day long that you can't play pitching in Coarse. Nobody's going to want to play pitching in Coarse. And I'm telling you, that could be your SP2. Sensatella here. Yo, if you remember, I am the Sensatella whisperer, bro. I know this kid. Yeah. Sensatella could be your starting pitcher too. He could be the guy that if you play Kluber, if you play Severino, even if you want to go out and play Max Scherzer, which I won't, you get Sensatella, that gives you the bats that you want. You still can get exposure to bats that you like. So I like Sensatella here. It is a 12.5 run total, so be careful with it. But I definitely think Sensatella is going to be in play for me as a starting pitcher too. Next game we got is the Oakland Athletics and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. You got Daniel Gossett, 6.9. Andrew Haney, 5.1. Yo, I think Haney had a good start last time, didn't he? No, he didn't. That wasn't him. That wasn't him. I'm thinking of Weaver. So we got Daniel Gossett, man, 7.25 against Baltimore, 24 against San Fran, 1 against Minnesota, 21 against the Mets. It's a very solid place for pitching. Very solid place for pitching. You look at the Oakland A's, man, and what they do on the road versus lefties. Let's take a look. They're not great. 15.3% K rate, a 131 ISO with a 298 WOBA. What that does tell me is if I want to play some bats from Oakland, I can grab good righty-lefty matchups. You go guys like what's the home like your Jed Lowry, your Marcus Simeon, your Ryan Healy, most definitely. If you play Sensatella, you are saying the Rockies should blow up Zimmerman, right? No, no. The first game in Coors doesn't have to be a crazy scoring game. It doesn't have to, it could be a 4-2 game, and Sensatella wins, gets the win. You know. Now, am I going to have exposure to the Rockies at Coors? Yes, of course. But I'm not going to go ham. I'm not going to just say, oh, stack the Rockies, you win all the money, because that's what everybody's going to do. I'm gonna take a more contrarian approach, and I'm going to play the pitcher in Coors, which nobody wants to do. Nobody wants to play the pitcher in Coors. They've been trained to not do that. So I'm going to play the pitcher in Coors. So you've got on the other side, you take a look at the Angels here. This is a 9.5 run total at Anaheim. You got the Angels here. They're going to be at home versus right-handed pitching. I think they've been fairly decent. And no, they haven't. They've been bad. 18.6% K rate, 140 ISO, 326 WOBA. So that could be a little bit misleading. So what I would do is against Daniel Gossett, I would grab some left-handed bats here. Maybe Cole Calhoun's a guy. Of course, Mike Trout, but left-handed guy like Cole Calhoun could be a solid spot here, as well as Luis Valbuena. Those would be guys that I would like against Gossett. And I think Gossett may even be in play, man. I'm gonna highlight him. Gossett may even be in play in the spot. I kind of like that. Next game we got is the and he'd be a good Sensatella pivot. The next game we got is the San Francisco Giants and the San Diego Padres. We've got a 7.5 run total. You got a couple of good, solid pitching prospects here. Jeff Samardzija at 9K, Julius Chassin at 7.6. We know that the Padres have had struggles in terms of K rate at home. So let's take a look at what they do against righties at home. They've been hitting the shit out of the ball, but they have had issues in terms of their K rates. 24.1%. Here we are. That's right. 24.1% K rate, 168 ISO with a 298 WOBA. That's going to put Jeff Samardzija in play for me unless he has struggled against San Diego in the past. Let's take a look here. Yes, he did, man. At home against San Diego, 0.35. Away against San Diego, 9.5. So keep in mind, 17.55 earlier in the season against San Diego. Yo, keep in mind, man, he's had some pretty tough starts, bro. He's had some pretty tough starts against the Padres. Keep that in mind. Judas Chassin at 7.6, which I think is a fair price for him, man, because you got some margin at 9K. 0.7, 15.8, 10.4, 8.7. Last good game was against Minnesota, 22.75. A guy that does have pretty solid K upside, but you look at the San Francisco Giants, man, on the road versus righties, what that K life looked like for them. Let's take a look. 21.5% K rate, 129 ISO, and a 277 WOBA. That's going to put Chassin in play for me. Don't know how much I like Samardzija here, man. Pitchers duel of the night here, there, better than Cluberino, my bold call. Okay, Tom Riley says this is the pitchers duel of the night. He's saying you can grab a pitcher from either one, and nobody's going to get blown up. So I'm going to highlight both of those cats, and we're going to, of course, revisit that inside the line drive. So we've got our pitching already started. We've already started our pitching for today's slate. Once we get into the line drive, we're going to shrink that baby down. We got a lot of pitchers. Damn, we got Kluber, Severino, Nola, Samardzija, Chassin, Mike Montgomery, Daniel Gossett, Jose Urena, and Antonio Senzatella. Guess what? We can't play all of these guys, man. So we're gonna have to pick. We got to switch it down to 4. Gotta get down to 4. So if you want to be a part of that, man, join us inside the line drive at 5. The way you can do that is you go to the website, and it's www.dfssweatshop.com. That is where you'll be given all of the tools and tricks and tips to becoming a profitable MLB player, MLB DFS player, and we've also got NFL popping off too. Be on the lookout for the NFL videos on YouTube this week. Some light stuff just to introduce everything and to really get you started, man. Because I wanna take you back and remind you what DFS really is. A lot of people, man, they talk DFS, they talk plays, and they talk sports, and they have sports knowledge, and they know sports. But do they really know DFS? Do they understand what they're up against? Do they really understand this? Do they know what? I can give you like a basic outlook of what DFS really is, okay? This is what it is. This is what it is. In all of these tournaments, let's take a look. We go to DraftKings, right? We look at all of these tournaments. All of these tournaments are going to fill, okay? They're going to fill. You look at it. Or I'll take you to the lobby because I didn't have any live contents here. You go to the lobby. You see all these tournaments here? They're going to fill. They're going to fill. All of these. 5.5 million. Somebody that's going to be put in there. 2 million, 1 million, 300,000. All of this stuff is going to fill, right? And it's filled by the quote-unquote sharks, okay? This is what happens. Half of the money that's in DFS on any given day is put in there by the sharks through their max entries, through their little collusion shit, through multiple accounts, whatever they feel like they have to do to get half of the money in the pot. They put it in there, right? And then we put our half of the other money in the pot, the other half. And if we are not working together, it makes it easier for them to just suck up all of our money because they put half of it in there. You see what I'm saying? There's a better chance of one of them winning it all, which is a small group. Like 1% of the people put 50% of the DFS money in DFS. So they all work together. Whenever you see one of them cats hit a big tournament, oh my God, oh this dude XYZ won a mini maker. Well, he has to share that with the other guys because they're colluding. They're working together. See, nobody wants to tell you this, bruh. Nobody, and they hate me. They hate me for being the one to tell you this. They're colluding. So whenever you see a guy win a mini maker, one of the sharks with a mini maker, he's not really winning the mini maker. He's sharing that shit with the rest of the 1%. That's what they do. They suck up our money, bro. Right? So we gotta have that same mindset. But we're not gonna do the bullshit they do. We're not gonna have multiple accounts. We're not gonna collude and share lineups. We're not doing all of that. We're gonna beat their ass old school. We're just picking better plays, working together, strategizing. You see what I'm saying? That's what we're gonna do. The motherfuckers don't win milli makers, bro. They share that shit. All that shit is shared. When you look up and you see, you're gonna see it during football season, bro. When you see like 20 lineups, you see the top 20, and you see one guy has like 11 lineups in the top 20. He has to share those. Share that money. The motherfuckers ain't as rich and balling as you think they are. They're sharing the shit with each other. Honestly, we've done so much We've done so much over the last year to like slow those guys down. I can assure you, bro. There's almost $1 million that didn't go to them that would have gone to them without the sweatshop. If you don't believe me, go check the logo. There's easily $1 million that did not go to them that would have gone to them, and it's only going to climb. We're going to continue that trend. We're going to continue that. And when NFL, MLB, and NBA, boy, look at here, boy, look at here. And we got cats that take them to the side and head to heads and beat their brains out every day, every day. The logo is popping. The logo is popping, and it ain't about me. You doing this shit. It's not about me. It's not about me. You doing this shit. Most of y'all are better players than I am. It's just I found a way to get you all together in one group and have you working together and showing each other love and encouraging each other and being like family to each other. That's the shit. That's what we do. That's why the sweatshop is the very best at what we do. You know what I'm saying? Because see, I tell y'all the truth. Yo, if you're feeling lucky, go ahead and throw an entry in the Millie Maker. One, don't go ham. Don't go ham. You know what I'm saying? Get your ass in a single entry. Get in there. Have you noticed that since I've been pumping single entries to you, the jackpots for single entries have gone down some? The jackpots for the single entry tournaments have kind of gone down some ever since I've instructed all of you to play those first. Play your single entry first. Get in those head-to-heads. Do not forget cash games. And NFL is so important in terms of cash games, bro. I'm telling you. Yo, I don't play cash in NBA because I'm that good. I'm so good at NBA, I don't have to play cash to turn a profit. I'm so good at NBA because I watch every game. Them motherfuckers don't watch every game. So they don't know as much about NBA as we do. You know what I'm saying? They don't watch every game. They just follow the numbers and put in 150 lineups to think that that's just going to be their easy way to win. Well, they don't know. I got 150 lineups. Actually, I got 1,000 lineups in every night. Guess what? Because your lineups are mine. Every one you put in, I have a personal stake invested in too. I may not win no money with you, but the logo is there. So I beat their ass every night. I beat the Sharks every night. Because every night one of y'all win. Okay? So, let's not be confused about what DFS is, man. Let's not be confused about it. And you gotta have a poker mentality. These are the people that came over from poker. From the ESPN world of poker. That's what these motherfuckers are. They don't know shit about sports. We know sports. They know poker. They know gambling. That's what it is. And what they do is these motherfuckers are so slick. Okay, I can tell you. This is what they do. They max enter tournaments, and I don't have a problem with that. Yes, enter all your entries. Please max enter so we can have your money to take. Please put your money in there so we can take your money. But the part that pisses me off is not only do they want to take your money in the tournaments through max entering, but they want to take your money through the back door by offering you subscriptions to their website to tell you how to take their money. That's stupid. Why the fuck? If I have 10 grand invested on any given night on DFS, why would I then tell you how to take my 10 grand investment? I'm not. I'm going to throw names at you. I'm going to try to confuse you. I'm going to try to fuck you up. I'm going to tell you I don't like a guy. And when you see my winning lineup, you're going to see the very same guy that I told you I didn't like. Motherfuckers is dirty. We ain't like that. We ain't rocking like that in the sweatshop. We keep it real. We keep it honest. We keep it 300. Peace.